Bangladesh is one of the most intense and challenging places on Earth. A country where life and survival intertwine every single day. Between extreme pollution, dangerous jobs, and traditions that defy Western understanding, get ready to discover the 10 most shocking aspects of the most chaotic nation in South Asia. Number 10. An unprecedented hygiene crisis. Bangladesh, located in the heart of South Asia, is a land of flat plains crossed by hundreds of rivers that shape the territory and sustain the daily lives of its people. The population density is so high that every space is shared by endless moving crowds, creating environments where cleanliness and order become nearly impossible to maintain. Street food, beloved by millions, is often cooked next to open sewage drains, with utensils dipped in dirty water and surfaces covered in dust and flies. Visitors are struck by the intensity of the flavors, but also by the extremely poor sanitary conditions. In rural areas, many families even resort to eating insects or raw animal organs out of necessity. A gesture that reveals the harshness of everyday life and the fragility of available resources. Number 9. The hidden cost of global fashion. Many clothes from the world's most famous brands are produced in Bangladesh, where thousands of workers earn less than $3 a day. Major companies choose the country for its extremely low costs, but behind every garment lies a reality made of exhausting shifts and oppressive conditions. Factories without ventilation, sealed windows, and toxic substances in the air turn each day into a health hazard. Industrial dyes and chemicals, handled without protection, cause chronic illnesses that drastically reduce life expectancy. Most workers are young women who leave their villages hoping for a better future, only to find themselves trapped in a system that feeds on their vulnerability. Every label we wear becomes a silent reminder of invisible sacrifices, ignored by most. Number 8. The most dangerous ship graveyard in the world. In Chittagong lies one of the most perilous workplaces on the planet, the largest ship-breaking yard in existence. Here, massive vessels are dismantled almost entirely by hand, by workers lacking harnesses, masks, or adequate protection. With rudimentary tools, they face tons of charred metal, tanks filled with toxic substances, and radioactive materials that threaten their health daily. Many come from extremely poor rural regions and accept conditions unimaginable elsewhere. Accidents are frequent, and respiratory diseases are almost guaranteed for those working there. The environment also pays a tremendous price. Oil, paint, and heavy metals contaminate the coast, destroying ecosystems and jeopardizing the fishing industry that sustains countless local communities. It is essential labor, but devastating in every aspect. Number 7. The invisible men of the sewers. Beneath Bangladesh's most crowded cities lies a dark world where thousands of workers manually clean sewage systems and drainage channels. They descend into pits filled with waste, filth, and deadly gases without any protection, using only ropes, buckets, and their bare hands. The risk of suffocation, fatal infections, or structural collapses is constant, and many lose their lives in incidents that aren't even recorded. Yet their work is vital. Without them, cities like Dhaka would collapse within days. Despite their essential role, they earn minimal wages that offer no security for themselves or their families. The absence of modern machinery and investment turns these men into silent heroes, forced to face daily, invisible danger. Number 6. Childhoods erased by necessity. In Bangladesh, millions of children spend their days working instead of studying or playing. From as young as 5 years old, they are employed in brick factories, textile workshops, or as domestic workers, exposed to dangerous substances and shifts that often exceed 10 hours. Their small hands are considered perfect for precision tasks, making them ideal targets for exploitative industries. Their wages are minimal and often essential for families in desperate conditions, creating a cycle that is nearly impossible to break. Many of these children develop respiratory problems, physical deformities, and emotional trauma that permanently shape their development. Every day, they lose opportunities that could change their future, trapped in a system that deprives them of education, health, and hope. A cruel reality that strikes the most vulnerable. Number 5. Air that kills slowly. In Bangladesh, breathing is dangerous. The country ranks among the most polluted in the world, and Dhaka frequently competes for the grim title of the city with the worst air quality on Earth. Millions of outdated vehicles, unregulated industries, continuous burning of waste, and endless construction sites create a blanket of smog that covers everything. During winter, visibility drops, buildings disappear into thick haze, and the air becomes as heavy as smoke. Pollution causes more than 150,000 premature deaths every year, spreading respiratory diseases that affect children and the elderly most severely. Schools close, hospitals overflow, and entire neighborhoods live with the constant sensation of suffocation. For those growing up in these conditions, the air itself becomes an invisible enemy, shaping daily life with no break in sight. Number 4. Transportation that defies all logic. Getting around in Bangladesh means facing chaos beyond imagination. Old buses, patched-up trucks, and rickshaws navigate congested streets, transporting passengers anywhere space can be found. Often, people don't just fill the inside of vehicles, they climb onto roofs, bumpers, and even window frames to reach their destination. In Dhaka, traveling just a few kilometers can become a nightmare of hours spent stuck in traffic. Rickshaw drivers pedal under scorching heat, earning barely enough to survive. But the most astonishing sight is that of the trains. During rush hour, hundreds of people cling to the outside of the carriages, turning every ride into a life-or-death gamble. A system on the brink of collapse, sustained by endurance, habit, and immense daily courage. Number 3. When one husband isn't enough. In the remote regions of Bangladesh lives the Mandi tribe, a matrilineal community that practices a surprising tradition, sharing a husband among sisters or close female relatives. This custom, deeply rooted in their culture, arises from the need to ensure family continuity in a context where men are fewer due to dangerous jobs and migration. The Mandi social structure prioritizes women who inherit land, responsibilities, and the duty of maintaining family ties. Sharing a spouse becomes both a practical solution and a cultural choice that provides stability and allows each woman to form a family. To Western eyes, it may seem unusual, but for the Mandi, it represents a balance that has enabled their community to survive in a harsh environment, an ancient, complex, and surprisingly functional system. Number 2. When gender decides your entire life. Despite some progress, Bangladesh remains deeply marked by gender inequality. More than half of all girls are married before the age of 18, often against their will, while inheritance laws based on Sharia grant men twice the share given to women. In many rural areas, studying or working is considered inappropriate for young women, who are pushed instead toward domestic roles imposed by tradition. Victims of violence find little support and often choose silence to avoid shame and isolation. This creates cycles of economic and psychological dependence that are extremely difficult to break. The disparity is not only cultural but deeply structural, influencing every decision, opportunity, and direction in a woman's life, limiting her dreams and freedom. Number 1. Marriage without love or choice. In Bangladesh, arranged marriage is the norm, and personal desire matters far less than family expectations. Marriages are negotiated like economic agreements based on reputation, social status, education, and convenience. Even though consent is required on paper, in reality, the weight of family pressure makes refusal nearly impossible, especially for girls. These unions often involve money exchanges or dowry payments, a practice that is illegal but still widespread. For many young people, this system means giving up their dreams, autonomy, and future aspirations, forced to live with someone they did not choose. The result is a society where entire generations grow up in relationships built more on obligation than affection. A deeply rooted model, difficult to change, yet still shaping the fate of millions. Thanks for watching until the end. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our next content. See you soon for more adventures and curiosities.